Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rekah HaKodash, Barakatah. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to Yakim out there pushing this word and truth. This is the Brother Rai with another video, and I'm going to be talking again about the eventual famine of the word, which, as you'll see in this article, we've got another piece of the puzzle which will be leading to that. And the article I'll be using is on activistpost.com, and the title reads, ADL creepy new ad promotes censorship under online hate index. And the ADL is the Anti-Defamation League, which is a Jewish organization that if you say anything bad about those Amalekites, they'll come after you and hit you with heavy fines and try to get you in jail. Let's get into it. Hate comments count by subreddit. You got White Rights, the Donald, 9/11 Truth, and what this article is pretty much going to be talking about is how they're going to put censorship on topics like this, and that would seem right on at a first glance, but you know that through the veil of getting rid of these topics, they're going to come after the Hebrew Israelites and the truth of the scriptures. And this article is by Aaron Kessel. The ADL has released a creepy George Orwell 1984-esque video expressing that there's an increase of online hate and how to tackle it. The video shows bubbles that include labeling hate speech such as 9/11 Truth, conspiracy, First Amendment, men's rights, and many more. Oh, and ironically also the topic of this article, censorship. The video opens with a woman identified as Britton Heller, ADL's director of the Center for Technology and Society, speaking about online hate and how the ADL and Berkeley University are going to tackle online hate speech, a broad definition which hasn't truly been defined, Slakia. Heller goes on to explain that Berkeley and the ADL have been testing artificial intelligence in a lab to help tech giants identify online hate speech, which presumably is defined by the ADL through the list of topics above in their bubble chart. And you can program that artificial intelligence to go after any particular topic you want it to go after. So it'll sift through all kinds of information, and if certain keywords such as Hebrew Israelites or even Black Hebrew Israelites come in, or it'll bring that up, and then they can say, oh, this is a Black identity extremist groups that are preaching hate against so-called white people and other races, and they're anti-government. The dangerous precedent set for censoring the list above and deeming it hate speech is as follows. Censoring 9/11 Truth, one would have to ignore the dancing Israelis who said they were there to document the event, a van with a 9/11 mural painted found along with bombs on the George Washington Bridge, as well as the other white urban moving system white vans and the documented arrests of Mossad agents. Further, a person would need to completely ignore the insider trading that happened that day as documented by German security firm Convar, and that's just scratching the surface of questions still no one has yet been able to explain. How a building collapses in a controlled demolition, Slakia. And that's just scratching the surface of questions still no one has yet been able to explain. How a building collapses in a controlled demolition matter from a fire like Building 7. In fact, the University of Alaska recently did a study on just that finding that the World Trade Center 7 did not fall due to fire, contradicting NIST, who said the building collapsed from structural damages due to the fire. Just so the ADL doesn't call me anti-Semitic, I'll leave a clear note that I am not blaming one of the other bubbles ADL came up with, the Jews. I'm simply stating documented facts with questions lingering in response to the nonprofit seeking to censor 9/11 Truth. So as you can see, any contrary opinion to the mainstream media will be targeted by this censorship. And what do we do when we go out there and preach on the streets? We teach the truth, which is contrary to this entire system, which we condemn it completely and show it just how wicked it is. The next topic in the bubble chart, and perhaps the most dangerous that sticks out, is the overall belief in any type of conspiracy being hate speech. saying that Esau, the so-called white man, is the Edomites, and the devil and serpent of the scriptures. That would be considered hate speech and a conspiracy. Opening up a dictionary, if you pre-search the word conspiracy, you will get two definitions. The first is a secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful. The second is the action of plotting or conspiring. In a criminal and judicial sense, when a group conspires, they are committing conspiracy. So labeling the word conspiracy or anyone who believes in a conspiracy to be a hate speech cheerleader / preacher is not only insane, but an irresponsible label applied to independent thought. And these definitions they gave right here is the true definition of conspiracy, which goes to show how what's that word I'm looking for? How subversive the powers that be are by changing the definition of the word conspiracy to make it think that if anybody's a conspiracy theorist or believe in conspiracies, they wear tinfoil hats and talk about aliens. Though the truth is, as it says, a conspiracy is a secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful. And what are the elites? There are secret societies that plan how to bring in that new world order, which there are documented facts for. But just saying that would label you a conspiracy theorist by using that term in the wrong sense. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the ADL itself has a corrupt past that should scare everyone. The organization has been caught targeting both left and right activist groups in a sophisticated surveillance dragnet with help from police agencies to spy, harass, and intimidate several political groups. In 1993, the ADL was accused of keeping files on more than 950 political groups, newspapers, and labor unions, and as many as 12,000 people. The case stemmed from Roy Bollock, a San Francisco art dealer working as a spy, and Tom Gerard, a 25-year police veteran and self-described former CIA agent, the New York Times reported. The FBI then seized ADL files and files from Roy Bollock's computer. Groups targeted included both racist and activist groups, the Ku Klux Klan, White Aryan Resistance, Operation Rescue, Greenpeace, the National, I believe that's Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the United Farm Workers, and the Jewish Defense League, the Arab American Anti-Discrimination Committee, American Civil Liberties Union, Earth Island Institute, the United Auto Workers, Jews for Jesus, Mother Jones Magazine, the Center for Investigative Reporting, Salakia, the Bo Grits for President Committee, the Asian Law Caucus, and the AIDS activist group ACT UP. So if they were targeting both sides of the spectrum back then, they're doing the same now. So the Hebrew Israelites are definitely under the watch of the ADL and other agencies looking to censor contrary opinions on the internet. Computer files also included information on several members of Congress, including Pelosi, House Armed Service Committee Chairman Ron DeLumes, and former Republican Representative Pete McCloskey from the Bay Area. At the time, authorities said much of the material collected by the group was confidential information obtained illegally from law enforcement agencies. They also alleged that data on some individuals and organizations was sold separately to the South African government, LA Times reported. Speaking of conspiracy, the story didn't end there. LA Times later followed up with a report that David Gervitz, an associate of the ADL, had communicated with an Israeli official. In the court transcript, Gervitz recounts how he received a tip that a pro-Palestinian activist was about to board a plane bound for Haifa, Israel. Although the Anti-Defamation League publicly denies any ties to Israel, Gervitz phoned an Israeli consular official to warn him. Shortly afterward, another official called Gervitz back and debriefed him. So as you can see, the ADL is in cahoots with those Amalekites over there. So they'll definitely be targeting any opposition to those fake Jews over there, especially the Hebrew Israelites, since we're the true Israelites and we're pulling up all their dirty secrets and unveiling them to the world. To add to the oddness of the story, Gerard fled to the Philippines after he was interviewed by the FBI, but left behind a briefcase in his police locker. Its contents include several passports, driver's licenses, and identification cards in 10 different names. Identification cards in his own name for 4 American embassies in Central America, a collection of blank birth certificates, army discharge papers, and official stationery from various agencies. Just in case there is any doubt that the ADL and SPLC are behind the recent YouTube purge, the ADL made it clear in a tweet last August that they were helping on YouTube's Trusted Flaggers program. ADL, proud to contribute to the YouTube Trusted Flaggers program, working to make the internet a safe space for all. YouTube says it's removing terrorist and extremist content, and we know that we're considered extremists. And you've been having that problem lately with a lot of live shows from GMS getting taken off the internet. Ironically, the comments were disabled for the ADL video, probably because of the backlash that would have followed. And why, if you're doing something sketchy, if you're saying you're not doing anything sketchy, why would you disable people being allowed to put on comments? That's just suspicious. Further, ADL, if you have to suppress a free discussion board that might say something about what you are doing, as I've reiterated for the past year, 1984 wasn't an instruction manual.